Welcome Travel Tech EU and Canada 2024 for edition,
where the transformation begins. By becoming a sponsor at Travel Tech, you'll gain access to an exclusive platform to showcase your brand to a global audience. Here's why you should sponsor our event. Travel Tech provided knowledge to more than 167 countries. Travel Tech is the largest online event in the travel and hospitality industry, reaching the milestone of over 1,500,000 unique impressions in its events. Delivering to the world knowledge, free education, inclusion, and effective networking for evolution in the industry. Being an excellent means of showcasing your brand. Over 80,000 people attended our live events, generating more than 19,000 hospitality and travel-focused leads.
In the bustling world of hotels, guests expect prompt, courteous service from booking to check-in, all the way to check-out. Meanwhile, the front desk is overwhelmed with emails, phone calls, check-ins, and guest requests. Introducing GuestChat, a virtual assistant that helps your staff answer guest questions instantly via chat, 24/7 with a multilingual, fine-tuned white glove service. From booking to check-in, all the way past checkout. Join the revolution in hospitality service. Elevate your guest experience with GuestChat today.
Welcome to the future of hotel marketing with HS Latam. Our self-managed, easy-to-edit websites are designed to captivate and convert visitors into customers. High-standard website with top-1 speed in the world with our digital marketing solutions. Elevate your online presence. Reach the right audience at the right time. Optimize your sales strategy to maximize revenue and efficiency. And with our advanced Power by Analytics, track your success and make data-driven. HS Latam. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. HS Latam. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. Introducing Travel Tech Academy, a platform offering free courses designed to share valuable knowledge from the best professionals in the travel and hospitality industry.
Our mission is to provide inclusive learning opportunities for those who may not have the means to gain qualifications otherwise. With Travel Tech Academy, you'll have access to top-notch resources and insights that can help propel your career in the travel and hospitality sector. Over 3,500 professionals have already taken the course on our platform, acquiring knowledge and improving their professional profile. Many professionals, through Travel Tech Academy courses, have managed to find better job opportunities in the job market. For more information, visit traveltechacademy.com. And to become a sponsor of Travel Tech, get in touch through our website, traveltechspace.com, or by email at geraldo@traveltechspace.com. Travel Tech, what else?
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It's a pleasure to have you here today at Travel Tech USA and Canada 2024 Forum. My name is Alejandro Gomez, VP of Revenue at Hollybob. And before we get into the session today, which is Congress to Hotel Day on what's next on hospitality and moving to our esteemed group of panelists, I did want to send an appreciation message to all of our sponsors, Ensure Nomads, Hotelverse. By the way, of Hotelverse, congratulations on making it to the HPX Travel Tech cohort announced today. Congratulations. GoGuest, BookOnLine now, GuestChat, HotelsAs, and Consup Hub. And that being said, let me start by introducing Nima, Malu, Daniel, and Bruce, who have kindly accepted to share part of their wisdom and some golden nuggets. So I promise you'll get some golden nuggets from them. So let me start with Malu. I mean, I've been taught that ladies first. So Malu, would you like to introduce yourself and introduce us into Hotelverse?
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you, Alejandro and Vinicius, for having me here today. I'm really honored to be part of this amazing lineup. And good afternoon and nice to meet you all. My name is Malu Aguido. I'm Hotelverse's sales manager for the US and Canada for Hotelverse, and I am based in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, up north. Hotelverse is a company on a mission to redefine the hotel booking experience. We want to allow consumers, we are allowing consumers to choose their room through the hotel's digital twin. So the digital twin is an immersive experience where where they can see all the facilities, the amenities, their hotel, their rooms, and they can choose the room they want to stay in. And all this before arriving at the hotel. So for the last 20 years, and you know this, the hotel booking experience hasn't changed a bit. We have seen how airlines, retailers have evolved and personalized the shopping experiences. And we haven't got there yet. We can pick the seat we're going to sit on an airplane. We can even buy a scratch card in some of the airlines, and not to mention the ancillary revenues that airlines are collecting. So we are on a mission to make this possible for hotels. Our goals are for consumers to have a hyper-personalized and unique experience, and for hotels, disintermediation for hotels. The company was founded in 2022 by hoteliers for hoteliers. And I want to emphasize this. Our founders know and they have experienced all the challenges that hotel directors, hotel managers, operations are facing on a daily basis. We are based in the beautiful island of Mallorca in Spain, and we currently have more than 150 hotels across Europe and the Caribbean, and presently starting operations in the US, Canada, Middle East, and Asia. Some of the brands we have are Radisson Hotel Group, Hard Rock Hotels, Palladium Hotel Group, Iberostar, and Barcelona in Spain. About me, I've been in the travel industry for more than 25 years, and in 25 years I had worn many different hats. So I've been customer service, project management, product marketing, sales, operations, strategy, go-to-market. This is what happens when you join startups. So I started in airlines. I worked for Avianca, for Turkish Airlines, for Lufthansa, Continental Airlines. I've also worked for travel agencies, and then I switched to travel tech companies. That's where I fell in love with technology. In 2005, I co-founded the first flight meta search in Spain that was acquired in 2011 by the French group Easy Voyage. Then in 2012, I relocated to Montreal, where I currently live. Here, I went back to aviation and I joined ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization, a United Nations agency. And that's where all the policies and aviation security, safety, regularity, regulations are done. It's quite interesting. That was another side of aviation I didn't know. And then after that, went back to my jam, technology and in different fields. And the last one before joining Hotelverse was VR Immersive Experiences, which comes in very handy today. My name is Malu Aguino. I'm LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to share more details about Hotelverse and how to help you increase your direct bookings. Thank you very much for having me here again.
You're welcome, Malu. Thank you very much for sharing all that with us. I urge the audience to connect with Malu and the rest of the panelists, LinkedIn and myself. I know that all of us will be more than happy to provide more feedback, assistance, and even consultation on how technology can help your businesses thrive, right? I'm going to go around my screen clockwise. So I'm going to ask Bruce, the CEO at Hotel Guest Management, to introduce himself. Bruce, the floor is yours.
I didn't realize we had such a huge Canadian audience, so I'm going to say the rest of this in Canadian so everybody can understand me. Hi, hi, I'm Bruce Jordan with Hotel Guest Management. I'm the author of the Hotel Revenue Bible. I'm also an award-winning hoteler, top 25 podcasts. I have my own show called Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts, which is a hotel competition where the best hotels compete against the best hotels. I also have a podcast called Best Hotel Books Podcast for our website, besthotelbooks.com, where you can go grab the best hotel books.
Nice. Thank you very much, Bruce. I think I'm going to ask you about a couple of the horror stories that you've seen consulting for all these hotels later in the session today. Or even actually some of the things you picked up through the podcast, right? But then let me move to Daniel. Daniel, thank you very much for being with us. And I would like to understand, what are you doing in your role as CEO as Easy Go Band?
So good afternoon, good morning, everybody. I'm really happy to be here with you. So I appreciate very much the invitation and the audience that is listening today. And as you said, I'm Danny, CEO in Easy Go Band company. We are a team around the world that right now I'm in Spain. So I think that I'm sure that someone is watching us from here. So hola a todos, espero que vaya todo bien. The location right now is next to Malu. So I'm in Valencia. It's next to Barcelona. Is to be more.
I'm in Barcelona, so we're not that far.
We are in Spain. And on the other side, I don't know if you are familiar with our product. It's GoGuest. And if I make a small summary of GoGuest app or GoGuest platform, that is it's a web app directory, and guests can make reservation of service. For example, restaurants, activities, massage, or service, etc. So in addition to see all the hotel information and and also all the functionalities linked in the wristbands and bracelets. It's really useful in resorts. That applies functionalities like access control, open doors, etc., etc. Yeah, and focus on all types of hotels. For example, EP, European plan or all-inclusive resorts or anything. And always with the objective of increasing property revenues and create new interaction with the guests, for example, notification, chat, yeah. And then about me, I'm really young. If I compare with you, I have only 5 experience in tourism area. But and this years I'm traveling a lot to Mexico, to Puerto Rico, and a lot of hotels and resorts, and give me a lot of experience in management and revenue. So one of the most fun things that I do, because I think we are all very multitasking here, it's to be able to be into design team and make decisions about the future of the product. That's a good point. And as well as adapt the platform to the operation on the different hotels chains. Yeah, for example, Hilton, Hard Rock, a lot of companies that are working with us, and it's a good mix. And I think we will be talking about some very interesting topics today. And yeah, I know that my English is not perfect, but I always try to do my best.
Don't worry,
it's better than my Canadian.
I'm intrigued to listen to your Canadian now, Bruce. You're building up the expectation for it. But Danny, thank you very much for that introduction. You mentioned something that I picked up on your website. I'm going to ask you about it later, about the wearables and what you're doing with wearables. So coming up soon. But I think that now we have Stavros there. Stavros, welcome. Stavros from BookOnLine Now. The floor is yours. Introduction. What is BookOnLine Now? And happy to have you here today.
Hi from Athens, Greece. Of course, we are in BookOnLine Now. BookOnLine Now is the booking engine that a hotel or a property can put it in the website and make direct bookings. It's our products, of course, it's with distribution, e-commerce, and property management solutions for every type and size of business, of properties, from large chains and independent hotels to self-catering apartments and single unit vacation rentals. So our products, BookOnLine Now, work seamlessly, offering outstanding reliability and security that will enable the property to surpass the online business potential and drive results. Let's say we help the hoteliers, the property management, or the property managers to ensure that they can get the direct bookings through their website. So we do that. So we are in 68 countries. So our product is very strong and very reliable. And of course, we have a lot of properties, of course, here in Greece. As you know, we are a very touristic country. So that for our company. About me, I'm working in the travel industry from a lot of years, let's say 25 years. I was working as a travel agency and as a tour operator, and then I became a member of a lot of hotel chains, like the sales department. And I used to work for Booking.com for a lot of years when they came in Greece, the first office in Greece here, and we built all the relationships and all these properties to the website of Booking.com. So after that, I was working for hotels, city hotels here in Athens, 4 and 5 star hotels, and then I joined the sales team in BookOnLine Now, so we can help the hoteliers to take more direct bookings. And
you're on the other side of the fence then now, Stavros. I'm keen to listen how that's going, right? But I appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much for taking the time. And then last but not least, we have Nima at GuestChat. Nima, I mean, I'm doing some injustice because I don't think you need an introduction, but I'll let you do one if you want.
Wow, really? Yeah, well,
Yes.
that's a thing. Well, it's an honor, but I really don't deserve it. It's something that I'm really glad I see among all of you guys an incredible amount of knowledge and experience. I'm I don't know how to describe myself. Actually, my beginnings were not at all in the hotel industry. My background was in the sciences, and it just turned out that I moved to the Caribbean about 27 years ago, and I was put in charge of a hotel. So I ended up having to run a hotel without any experience or knowledge or anything. But I ended up doing that for 22 years, and I ended up running a second hotel by extension. So I learned on the spot, and for the last 20, actually, that's where GuestChat comes in. So right at the pandemic, I decided, okay, I've had enough. I don't need to run hotels anymore. I'll leave it to others. And I put my son in charge. By that time, we now own the hotel, and I started GuestChat. So I've been doing that since the pandemic. And the premise behind GuestChat is very simple. There are people on hotel websites who have questions. If they weren't on the website, they wouldn't be interested. And if they have to wait for their answers, they're likely to go somewhere else and to book. And so what we came up with was a way to answer their questions instantly and give them an easy way to book direct. And now with the advent of GPT, it's all so much more natural and flowing. And I'm up to my neck in ChatGPT integrations and getting hotels involved so that they have these human-like, natural flowing conversations through GuestChat. So that's what I do.
Well, Nima, thank you very much for that introduction. I love this kind of stories, right? That's how the industry was built to begin with, right? People doing this for no apparent reason, or sometimes for apparent reasons, or being in a family that's run businesses for all their lives, and they find these opportunities. And I applaud that you come up with an idea and the entrepreneurship to solve a problem for the industry within the industry, right? So we know that there's a lot of innovation that comes from outside the industry. So I would like to see more of guest chats potentially in the future. So thank you for that. And before I go into the questions, I just wanted to remind the audience, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat on YouTube, be connected live. It is a wealth of knowledge that we have with our panelists. So I kind of ask you to make the most out of the session today. And then you can do that there and we'll pick them up, right? Outside of this, so let me just start with the questions. Yeah, I'm going to go to Nima first, like last is first at the moment. And our industry loves the acronyms, right? So we're one of the most acronym-plagued industry in the world, and we think about LLM, we talk about AI and everything, but
Yep.
Nima, you come from sciences to hotels, right? So and now there's this kind of trend with LLM. So first of all, can you briefly explain what LLM is, right, and how you see them being applied today at the moment? And what do you think this means for the future of our industry, of hospitality specifically?
Sure. So LLM stands for large language model, and it's basically, as far as we know it, for simple terms, it's ChatGPT and Google Bard, and they're basically, to describe them in a rather simplistic way, just think of them as a program that is taught by being fed a lot of information and then comes up with responses according to your questions. And as to how it does that, it's very complex, but that's not really important. You all by now have all used ChatGPT or some derivative. Basically, it's the new search. Instead of having to get 10 different links, you get the answer you're looking for, or if not the answer, the top answers. And so how this is being incorporated into the hospitality industry, at its basic level, it's basically somebody doing a search, asking for help on how to write something. And that's the biggest thing. For emails in hotels, you know how many emails that people in the reservations team front desk have to send. It's a assistant to be able to write better, help you out of correspondence problems. So that's the very simple way of doing it. It gets more complicated after that because the next part of large language models is when you get to integrate it with your own data. So imagine a hotel that now has all of its marketing content, including brand designations and everything, how they want to go out, approach their market, who their target market is, and all that. And you can now load that up into, let's just say, the hotel's knowledge base or brain. And now you can generate marketing campaigns. And that includes, by the way, media, whether it's photos, let's say audio, video, all sorts of things. Video is still to come, but it's getting there. And so it now has become a marketing tool that, let's say if hotels would have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, to get this stuff done, they can do it for a fraction of that cost. I would say even probably in hundreds of dollars. And so that's the next level. And then we get to the level of personalization. And that's really, really where we're dealing with in GuestChat. So the conversations become extremely personalized, so that the guest feels, and this is really where the user experience comes in. First of all, the guest believes that they're talking with a human. It's not because we don't say we're not human. We say, hey, we're virtual assistant, but the conversations become so real, and the system is trained in such a way that it is so, I don't want to say polite, but it is so hospitable in the way that it answers, so that, like, let's say somebody says, I missed my flight, I'm going to be late. I'm so sorry to hear that you missed your flight. That's the sort of answers that you're getting. Please let me know how I can be of assistance, and sort of that in and of itself is an amazing thing. You don't think it's an amazing thing, but it makes people feel better. And that's really ultimately the goal of what, hospitality is, to be able to bring somebody in, have them be your guest, and treat them really well. And this personalization can go all the way down to every kind of recommendation, help with, I'm sure Daniel would speak about this, but assistance with, restaurant reservations, anything like that. Suggestions as to where to go and what you can do. Yeah, that's what's happening over in chat world for hotels.
And Nima, I'm going to selfishly say that sometimes I see hotels thinking only about like in-property things that are happening, but personalization goes beyond that. Like at Hollywood, we work on personalization and enabling hotels to just sell things to do in the city, because a consumer or a traveler goes to that specific property, but then wants to discover what's out there. And the hotel misses an opportunity to generate revenue from that as well, right outside of the room or outside of the property. So let me ask you this specifically as a follow-up, and I'll open up the floor for everyone to also pitch in and ask questions or debate with Nima. But if you were to rank 1 to 3, is LLM an efficiency enabler? Is it a revenue generator, or is it a cost saver?
I think it's an efficiency generator, if I were to say, then maybe a cost saver, and then it's revenue. So efficiency first. It's doing. It's like an assistant that gets you about 40 to 60% there faster, right? That's what it does. So I wouldn't put it as a revenue generator. Not to say that it can't generate revenue, but I would put that at number 3. And then the idea that, there are some who are going to be able to save time on it. Yeah, it definitely does save time and all that. So, yeah.
I appreciate that. I don't know if anyone has any feedback on it or would like to say something to it.
Yeah, I agree with Nima. So yeah, I think that there are different areas where it can be appear, and that help reduce time. That is really efficient, and very important, that reduce cost. So silent for some teams, but it's cost of personnel in some cases. That's, for example, in front desk or concierge. That you can change the GPT, one worker for one GPT, you know. But the technology is like that. It takes away work in one place, but generates in another. And thinking more that you just have a look at history, that this is an industrial revolution.
I agree. And maybe I can connect with this with Nima and what you're saying, Daniel. I think it's lately when I've been traveling to shows, I've seen a number of companies, not with hospitality particularly, but saying that LLM or like AI-driven tools leveraging ChatGPT technology, like would actually make more money, right? And the example of that is like all of the hundreds of itinerary building companies that I've seen so far. And for me, was more of an efficiency enabler, right, as Nima said, rather than revenue generating, because I couldn't hear any consumer or any travel agent saying, "Oh, I need something to make more money out of building itineraries," right? Mm-hmm. So I think I completely agree with that point. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. So if we're okay with that, maybe we can move on to the next point in our agenda. And I'm going to turn to Malu. And Malu, you talked about VR in your introduction, and you talked about immersive experiences, and they're a hot topic, right? So a lot of people implementing it. Dalia and I are in Spain. We see something like Casa Batlló implementing it from an operations part of things, right? And an experience becoming a VR augmented experience. And you do it for hotels. So how do you think this is going to play in direct sales? What is the differentiator that this VR or immersive experience gives to a hotel potential?
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, and I really love it. I love immersive experiences. So I think that, first of all, we are very visual. There's a new generation that right now is starting to buy things that they have. They're 21, 22, 23, the Gen Z generation. They are used to have things immediately, and they don't read a lot. I have a daughter that age, so I know they don't read a lot, and everything is visual. So that explains why a lot of bookings for hotels start on TikTok and Instagram. At the beginning, I couldn't believe it. It was, I am more about descriptions, but it's a completely different way of doing things. So when you go and do something immersive, there is an emotional connection. And I've seen that with the last startup I was working, how the mind changes, and you can have really positive emotions. It evokes emotions, and it helps you create memorable experiences. So imagine you're booking your holidays, and you can start already picturing yourself in that hotel, in that room, overlooking the ocean, seeing the swimming pool where your kids are going to be. That is already something that puts you in the mindset of holidays. Not to mention all the ancillary revenues you were talking about 2 minutes ago that hotels could take advantage of in that moment. Some of the pain points, and I won't get there right now. So all this engagement on the hotelsbrand.com is the longer a user is on the website, the more chances it's going to convert. So if you have all the virtual tour, you have all the, you are there, you are interacting with the place, you're also going to have a better understanding of where you're going, and you know what are you expecting? It's going to be more accurate. You're going to go what's going to be offered. The surprise effect that normally in hotels is, oh, I thought it was different. The picture was completely different. That is something that is not going to happen when you're in immersive experience. And we know that with the hotels we are working right now, how there's a 92% of guest satisfaction, that users want to do this in a digital twin because they book something that they have seen in this digital twin, and it's just the way they saw it. There's no surprises. Maybe a bunch of flowers is a surprise. The wow factor can come in, but not the bad ones. So when you have an improved understanding of where you're going, also you make better informed booking decisions. So there are not going to be a lot of booking mistakes. Those happen too. Hyper customization. If you're looking for a room overlooking the ocean, far away from the swimming pool, I want to be 50 meters away from the spa, whatever, all that, this is what you get. You're not going to see anything else that is not in your set of criteria or requirements. Another thing that even in 2024 we're still talking about is reduce friction. Immersive experiences are so intuitive, and I like to bring something up that is in product design is called invisible technology. The technology is behind, but you don't have to figure out what to do next. The traditional booking methods, sometimes you have to stop and say, oh, and what I do next? Is my credit card, or should I go back? Sometimes they're really very intricate. Immersive experiences are very organic, so it's easy. You're seeing the hotel, you see the room, you book it, and then you can even have an opportunity for the ancillary revenues, other things that you can book because you're in that holiday or getaway or break mindset. It's all visual, there's less ambiguity, there's quicker booking decisions, and the hotel can build trust because there's a lot of, you're showing authenticity, you're showing transparency. That's what you give in the consumer. There is no a nice picture. No, you are there. You are in there. It's a digital replica of a physical hotel, but that's the closest you can get, right? So you can be there. So I think in a nutshell is you are already providing a unique and memorable online experience. And this for hotels is you can attract and retain those consumers, by the way, that they are qualified traffic that lands on the hotel's website. They are already in the last stage of the decision making. They are deciding where to book it. They want to see the hotel to see, oh, is it the same as the OTAs? You have an opportunity to retain them and convert them into direct bookings. And
I appreciate thank you for that, Malu. And I think you touched on a couple of things that are very interesting. So first and foremost, rethinking our audience and where you actively acquire consumers at the moment, right? So Gen Z, millennials, even Gen Y also are going into using TikTok as their main search or web browser, right? They don't search on Google anymore, right? I think that you also said something that's interesting. You say that you give more of a trustworthy experience to a consumer, and even building on top of that, and I would appreciate everyone else's opinion on this, is I feel that this is a way that a hotel can give differentiated value compared to the mainstream distribution channels that are there in this industry, right? So the OTA is the OTA. We know it. Hotels have been complaining about it for the last 25 years, but technically they haven't done a lot to actually do something different, right? I mean, I'm very vocal about this, and I'm also very controversial with this kind of thought, but it's just hard facts. So doing a digital twin for your hotel and making sure that you can give an immersive experience is a great way to test whether this can generate you more traffic that is not as costly as the OTA distribution or other distribution channels, right? I don't know if you agree with that, but maybe it's time to try something different.
We agree, because don't forget that the OTAs, I'm sorry, Malu.
Go ahead.
They spend billions.
Billions.
Every
17 billion.
Millions every day. Millions every day.
Yeah, I think this is a very good idea, because this is the problem that we have when we're dealing with any platform, whether it be an OTA or social media. For instance, TikTok is banned in India, and it looks like it's going to be banned soon in the United States. So when you lose a whole platform, that means you lose less control. 63% of bookings are digital. They come in through a digital platform. So when you have less digital platforms to work with, you need more control. So the fact that they're able to look at their whole hotel and see where they want to be, so what room that they want to stay in, which is the other side of the coin, is that a lot of these hotels, they don't have enough content. They can barely take a picture themselves and put it up on social media, let alone let someone see the whole hotel through Hotelverse. So I think this is a wonderful idea. It gives you much more control over your product, your guests, and what the guest sees.
And I appreciate that, Bruce. And Malu, you want to say something before we go to that question we have on the panel?
Yes, just a very, very, very short is that this part of the traffic that lands in a hotel's brand.com comes from the OTAs. And as I said before, They are just deciding where to book it. And that is a golden opportunity to retain them, give them more, because the OTAs don't have this and they're not going to have it. I fully agree with you, Alejandro. I know it's very controversial, but hotels haven't done the homework. I think there's also a generational change in hotels too. And there were older generations more like notebook and paper, saying it very vocal here, but now it's new generations that are very internet savvy, and that's a big change. So yeah, I think we all agree in this, and thank you, Bruce. We fully agree with what you said. Yes.
And I would say that also add to that and then move on to the question. It's not talking badly about the hotel. It's the hotel has a job, which is setting everything up and running a smooth operation so I can go sleep, have a great experience, and then check out, right? I think that it's with the coming up of companies like Hotelverse that they can augment the experience. It doesn't mean that they have to do it themselves, right? It is finding those trusted technology partners that can enable them to do it better or just future-proof their businesses. So I think I appreciate that a lot. Yeah. So I'm going to go to Alessia. So Alessia, thank you very much for your question. She says, how can the travel industry effectively utilize OpenAI, so outside of the trademark, maybe it's ChatGPT or LLMs or generative AI, to create immersive visual experiences that showcase the unique attractions and culture of a destination? And how can these be integrated into marketing and ad campaigns to enhance customer engagement and drive bookings? I'll take the first 3 seconds of this. So Alessia, just for this, at Hollywood, we're leveraging generative AI in ChatGPT or LLMs actually to gather first-party data from airlines, hotels, even OTAs. And what we do with that is we create unique flows in WhatsApp to deliver dynamically generated trip pages for those consumers, leveraging non-PII data, so non-personal identifiable data to begin with. But then we offer a curated list of things to do in a destination based on their preferences. And that's how we help the hotel generate more revenue by giving a better experience to the consumer. And there's zero left on either side. So even if it's an OTA or a hotel and everything, the only thing we need to get is the data passing. And that's all driven by GI and everything. I've seen a company in India that has a cool concept, which is basically they were trying to help the hotels run their marketing campaigns. And one of the things they found, and I think Bruce just touched base on this, is that they didn't have good content. Like they didn't have a good website. So they have a no-code website builder that with 5 clicks, they produce like this dynamically generated landing page for a hotel that can be used as their front-end experience to a consumer in less than 10 seconds. And then on top of that, they have generative AI and AI running the marketing campaigns and the copy of the marketing campaigns. So technically, the hotel has to do nothing about it. So those are 2 applications. But I would love to hear if you have any other examples of, well, maybe Nima, you're very savvy on this part of
Yeah, well,
right?
I would say actually, I mean, she said immersive visual experiences that showcase unique attractions and culture of a destination. Well, think about it. Okay, let's take what Malu has there at Hotelverse, right? Okay, so there's video content clearly, and that's already existing, and you just have to feed part of that in addition to, man, I don't even think you need photos of the hotel, frankly, because with the generative AI that's now creating video, right, for that place, just name a place, right, and say, first of all, you can get all of that from ChatGPT. Name a location and then say, give me the top 10 attractions according to whatever you want. And then feed that over to a video generator that can essentially make that look extremely good, patch that into what Hotelverse has. And I'm sure Hotelverse does that even for themselves, not with generative AI, which basically says, not only do you get to see what's happening inside the hotel from an immersive perspective, but you get to see all that's happening outside. Hey, there's, the underwater statues for diving. There's this, and it could create all of that. You don't even have to take a camera down there. You don't have to have a camera crew. And that guest feels like just imagine, right? I'm telling you guys something in words, and I know you can imagine it. A place that's underwater diving with a set of statues that have been created, right? In the Caribbean, which exists, by the way, right? Okay, now you can imagine what that looks like. And if I don't have to take a camera crew down there to do it, but I'm able to show it with some AI generated video, wouldn't each of you be interested? Like, wow, that's interesting. I might want to sometime go there, and I might want to try that destination. Well, that's it. You create it. It can be created, and guests can become interested and want to go. That's it.
And
I completely agree.
Nima, that is, you just define how we do it. We do it in-house, and we have all the surroundings. It doesn't matter if it's a resort in the Caribbean or if it's a city hotel. We show the surroundings of what you can do, the museums, restaurants there, whatever, and even the places that the hotel wants to highlight because they have a special agreement or whatsoever. But all that is done just the way you said it. We do it in-house.
Yeah.
Good.
I just want to say, now I don't want to go off into left field. I just want to say, I know that running a hotel is very different than the stuff that we're talking about right now, right? I know that. So I don't want to pretend like we're not aware of all the things that, because I live in a hotel. I've lived in a hotel for 27 years. So I hear about everything that happens in the hotel. So I don't want to pretend that we're so detached that we don't know the practicalities of day-to-day management, but these are things that are very, let's just say, at the least, they can be additionally helpful.
I completely agree with you. I think that one of the challenges, so Malu referred to it as invisible technology from a UX perspective, right? But I think that one of the things that tech on our side has that with the industry is to make it so simple for the industry to adopt it, right? So, I mean, I always use this example. You don't have to teach someone to use Facebook. It's intuitive. You know how to use it, right?
Yeah.
But I would also, I'm pretty sure Nima agrees with this. The hotels, they have so many departments. There's operations, there's some reception, there's so many different. It's not that easy. It's not that easy either. So sometimes taking the decision to go step further is so many different departments, and the bigger the hotel, the more complicated. If it's smaller, it's more a question of budget. But a big hotel, there's so many decisions to be, or so many agreements between the different departments that it takes ages to agree on technology.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us have lived, I lived in a hotel for 15 years when I was younger, and then lived for another full year in my career. I think it's more of a conviction rather than a decision, right? If there's conviction that you want to digitalize and you want to get on this journey, that is a huge first step, right? And then trusting or finding trusted partners like we have here in this panel to help you through that journey. It's not about you doing it yourself. I think one of the things I always complain about is how, because they have the money and the resources, big companies decide that everything is built in-house. And sometimes it's not about that. You need to work as an ecosystem. It's not about you doing it yourself, because then you miss out the opportunity of leveraging a great amount of synergies with companies like yours. So maybe that kind of leads me into next point, if I may. And Alicia, I hope that we answer your question, but if not, then you have all these amazing people on LinkedIn that you can reach out to and ask for further clarification, or just get their times on your calendar and have more questions about like this. But we talked about a lot of AI. We talked about how to leverage and everything. We talked about sales. We talked about direct sales at that in versus OTAs. So Daniel, when you look at it from the GoGuest or EasyGo band perspective, how do you define artificial intelligence on what you do? And is that how when you pitch it to hotels, do you say this is the ideal partner for you to make more sales, or what is that approach on your side?
Yeah, it's a topic quite related that was commented in the last points. But yeah, when we talk about this point, I'm referring to the sales of stays and as well as products or activities. And I think it can go further. It's artificial intelligence plays a very important role in cross-selling and upselling. So let's take all the areas. We have had artificial intelligence in our lives for a long time, and it's landing in some places, and I think it's coming here in the tourism area or hotel sales. That the truth is that it's easy to comment for me because GoGuest has applied artificial intelligence, no, in the sales process that incentivize sales, that products or massage or anything. That is a good point. So going into more detail, thanks to the experience of all the sales, that's you have all the information. Yep. We know exactly what product or services sells best according to the person making the order. Okay. So I think you already know how artificial intelligence works, or yeah, a notion. It learns from people movements. So best of all, it's very efficient. And the more sales and information you have, the better system delivers results and therefore translates into profits. So that's the point. For example, we have the possibility to offer a discount by notification, for example, push notification or email, I don't know, to a customer on a product that we know he likes at exactly the moment of this vacation. It translates into a very high percentage of direct sale. That's important. And yeah, the trick here is the experience or all the information about all the sales that you have in your history. So for imagine lying in your hotel bed, and then receiving a notification. For example, you have a 10% of discount on pizza in the property's Italian restaurant. I don't know, and it's great incentive to let you know that there are pizzas in the hotel, and then on the top of that it's a discount. But that's perfect because you know exactly that person wants to eat and it's something exactly at what hour and what they think, or do you think that they want. And yeah, that's perfect. And it's important to emphasize that there are direct sales that must be transmitted by person. Okay, that's a good point. That it's not only by the fact of human contact, maybe more accessible that sale. Yeah, what I'm getting is that the perfect method right now for me is to have a hybrid between the work of commercial salesperson and the support of artificial intelligence. So especially in very high amounts of stays, for example.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I think Bruce touched upon it before when he was talking about when he talks to hotels, efficiencies, jobs appearing and not. Maybe I can use your last statement if no one has any other comments to segue into Bruce, because Bruce, you talk to hotels a lot, right? And I would imagine with all of this AI, LLM, ChatGPT mumbo jumbo, there's concerns. Like people have concerns about things that they sometimes don't understand completely. So how do you think that's going to play a role in the next 5 years? Will robots take a role, as some people kind of doomsaying? What's gonna happen?
Well, as I see within the next 5 years, you're gonna see 1 or 2 front desk agents able to handle a 800-room hotel with no problem, with time to make TikToks in between the guests. You're gonna see housekeepers that they're just not going to be that much of a need for them because the robots are getting more advanced. Even now, there are some hotels they're using Rumbus. They're using an AI robot called Rumbus. Rumbus has a mop vac now. It's not just a broom anymore. It's a mop vac. So after they finish cleaning, they don't sweep. They just hit the button, and the whole Rumbus mops and sweeps the floor at the same time. Supervisor picks it up and goes to the next room. So who wants carpet when you can have your hotel mopped by Rumbus and it doesn't cost you anything extra except that a couple $100? So you're seeing a huge shift. Front desk is going to be huge because eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to do front desk from home. You're going to walk up to a video and they're gonna the dispenser is gonna dispense your keys. If you need anything else, there's gonna be a shift lead at the hotel to assist you with anything else. So you're gonna see labor cut by 1/3 or in half at some locations because of everything that's going to be happening within the next 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
Right now, since we have a labor crisis, hotels have no choice but to get creative. So they have to adopt a different form of technology. They're going to do it because at the end of the day, they have to survive.
Mhm.
It's a very interesting point because you say labor cuts. Um, would you say that potentially some of that can be repurposed to enhance the guest experience? Is that trade off to another area? Is it just cuts? Um, I'm going to use a simple example. So what I see is that I actually agree with you that one person can run a 200 room hotel now because I stay at properties due to work and I only see one person running it, and they still give a good service. I think I'm appreciating other things that I can get, and I'm not gonna make the brand, but I'm a fiend for one brand, so I stay with them, and I get my mobile key on my phone. I don't have to go into the basically go into the front desk to get into my room and everything. But I start appreciating the fact that if I have a real problem, I have someone to go to, or even like I have the support by an agent. It doesn't have to physically be in front of me as long as they fix my problem, right? They're interacting with me on chat through the app, and that works. So does that mean that, to your point, we're gonna cut labor at the property or in destination by a half, but that can be repurposed into other like value generating tasks, or you don't see that?
No, me myself personally, the main reasons why I cut costs is so I can reinvest it back into the guest experience. Some hotels are not as fortunate as I am, but that's what I like to do because if I can get something done at half the price and give the guests something extra, that works for me because now I'm strengthening the relationship with my guests. But some hotel owners, they got hit so hard. Some areas haven't really recovered from COVID, so they're looking to cut so that they can so they don't lose their shirts and have to perform like Magic Mike.
I mean, it's true. But I'm not going to ask for your secret sauce, but can you give us a latest use case of that where you've just said, well, I'm gonna cut back on this, or I'm gonna implement some technology so I can re-spend money in there, or some suggestions to the hoteliers in the audience?
Absolutely. What I had to do is I had to streamline my upgrade process. I was losing tens of thousands of dollars in upgrade sales because the front desk just didn't want to ask for them. So what I had to do was I had to send text messages for the upgrade first. I had to put the upgrade in all of my listings. So this way, when they got to the front desk, they already got 3 or 4 touches about the upgrade, and then of course, hopefully, the front desk agent will ask for the upgrade to the point where the guest will say, "Well, what's included in the upgrade?" Instead of just walking in the front door, someone's trying to shove an upgrade down their throat, which means more money. So now I don't want the upgrade. So my upgrade sales increased triple. My other income tripled because of that. So
Well, that's fascinating, and I think I'm going to use that as a cue or as a segue to ask Stavros, because technically hotels sometimes fail to understand that upgrade or cross sell or upsell, as Daniel mentioned it earlier as well, is part of your direct sales strategy, right? It's part of maximizing your revenue, and it's always like enabled by pieces of technology like the booking engine, like BookOnLine now does. So Stavros, if looking at what you're doing currently with hotels and the requests that you're getting and everything, what do you think are the upcoming trends for direct sales and hotel booking engines? We've mentioned but a few, but what are you seeing now in your interactions and how you're growing the business?
I think that you don't mention few, you mention all. So, of course, as we said, the AI, the artificial intelligence, of course, and the machine learning is the most important. I think it's the future of direct sales, of course, and hotel booking engine is being, let's say, shaped by range of these technological advancements and like the AI, of course, and as you all said, of course, Nima mentioned that, and because it's are becoming to personalizing the booking experience, and of course they can analyze the vast amounts of data to predict the customer preferences and offer tailored suggestions and improving the conversion rates. Of course, for instance, AI could suggest add-ons or room upgrades, let's say, based on the customer's booking history, of course, or browsing behavior. As you can see that a lot of OTAs do that. If you visit, let's say, big OTA like Booking.com, let's say names, we don't have a problem. You can see that if you search for five-star hotels in in a destination, in this when you will visit again after 2 3 days and to check for another destination, the five-star hotels will appear first. So it's that they use it to they try to personalize, of course, your needs. So after that, of course, like Malut said, the virtual reality tools. So integrating VR tools of rooms and facilities into a booking engine, of course, can and change the booking experience, of course, because it allows potential guests to explore the accommodations, of course, and in detail, leading to more informed decisions and potentially, of course, like we said, potentially conversion rates, higher conversion rates. After that, I think that, of course, it's the blockchain technology. Blockchain could make the revolution in the hotel booking engines by offering secure, transparent transactions and reducing the dependency of intermediaries. So it could also facilitate loyalty programs and make it easier for customer to earn and redeem points across different properties. Of course, the integration, as you mentioned, everyone mentioned, with integration with the social media, of course, with the social media platforms that, of course, increasingly being used to influence the travel decisions. So integrating booking capabilities directly into social media platforms, um, enabling bookings through Instagram posts or Facebook pages or TikTok, or for example, could open new direct sales channels like do it he, they do it and today. But it will, I think that in the future it will be the must. uh,
Interesting.
Of course, I think that I have to, last but not least, I can say the voice search optimization, because with the rise of the voice activated devices, optimizing booking engines for voice search, and that voice search is becoming essential. This involves understanding natural language queries and providing relevant results, make it easier for users to find and book a hotel or a property using devices like smart speakers. So I think that this is the future for the booking
And
engine.
I appreciate that, Stavros. I think you saved the last cherry bomb there. I
That's
mean,
right.
we can go into voice-enabled assistants for hours and hours if we wanted to, right? But it's part of our lives, right? I mean, my 8-year-old son already interacts with Google more than with me. Like, potentially he pays more attention to Google than me. So it's a fair point, right? I wanted to ask you this just as a parting question, because I think what I lack when I see a booking engine, and this is not only hotels, is that it's a one fits many model like the OTA. Like, what I like to see is whether me or Malu or Nima or everything, we go into that tool from different profiles, different channels, and we all have the same experience. And that is kind of feels like a lost opportunity, right? It shouldn't be that way. So we have data from the consumer, so we can personalize that experience. To your point, you can leverage VR augmented or immersive experiences into that booking engine. Voice assisted search could be one. I mean, even from the point of someone that cannot see or hear or read, right? Thinking about how technology can be an enabler today to not only for DEI purposes, but just to personalize that experience with that piece of technology. I think that's one of the things I see with the OTA model as well, right? So it is a one fits all, and they have a lot of data, but still it relies on search being one fits all, right? So, and I think that's where the hotels have opportunities, because they could work on personalizing and then retaining the consumer, making it more loyal, and at the end of the day is maximizing lifetime value, right? Because you paid hard cash to acquire them in the first place. So you need to make sure that you make the most out of it, right? And so I applaud that you're mentioning this, and hopefully we get more differentiated value out of IBs in the future. I know that we've been. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Don't forget that at the end of the day, the hoteliers, of course, are the people that will make the difference. And because, the AI or all the techniques or the booking agents or everything don't offer the sleeping experience.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's technically a balance, right? Striking the right balance is important, as with anything. But I mean, in our lives, we're seeing such an acceleration of change that sometimes you go through the pendulum, right? You go all the other way before you come back to more of a centered state of life, right? So I know that we have a question there before going into it, but I wanted to appreciate you taking all these questions. I know that we're going to do a round of closing in 5 minutes. We've been at this for an hour, so I also appreciate that you have distilled all this knowledge with us. So let me take this question, and maybe we can do a close-up with each of you, and maybe share some, as I said, golden nuggets, but also like forward-thinking statements for hoteliers, right? Craig, I seen your post. Thank you very much, acknowledging your feedback there, and also saying that what Bruce mentioned about labor reduction and the effect that things like that can have in Hawaii and or local areas, and the local economies could be devastating. So I invite you to get into the crowd here and talk about it more on LinkedIn. There's a question by Santiago aimed to Bruce. Sorry, Bruce, to put you on the spot. So Santiago says, what do you think about humanoid robots like the one being worked on by Tesla and alike? Could they take an operation like housekeeping completely? How close are they to become sufficiently good as to replace a human?
Yes, I take both of them. The first one was Craig's. Craig, how you doing? Craig is the president of the California Lodging Investment Conference. It's an amazing conference. I go there every year. But with when someone like the hotels in Hawaii, they have two choices. They have take the insurance money and run, rebuild, and try to maximize every penny that they could get, and try to get every penny that they can revenue-wise. So yeah, it will be devastating to the locals from a labor perspective, and for the hotels in that area as well. Now, Santiago, as far as the humanoids, man, that is going to be coming very soon. Some of the things I've seen some of these humanoid robots do is incredible. I've seen one actually do TikTok dance. I was watching the news, and this robot was mimicking every single move this woman was doing while she was dancing. So it's only a matter of time before you'll see humanoid robots actually doing the cleaning themselves. In addition, the products are changing. There's products out there now that you can just spray and you don't have to wipe. So yeah. I mean, remember one of the major problems you have, especially with like workers' compensation claims, is repetitive movement. So their joints will start breaking down because the movement is being repetitive and is wearing them out. When they could just spray, they don't have to wipe, they don't have to bend, they don't have to kneel, they don't have to do anything.
Wow.
They have to clean a room in 10 minutes.
Bruce, just one question.
Mhm.
Do you think they will be able to make beds?
The robots, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, if the robot could just make the bed, that'd be great because I am terrible at it. I'm pretty good at bathrooms though, but forget about it.
I can picture them, mopping the floors, replacing items. Would they be able to report a problem? I mean, I know it's all based on data, but certain things like make a bed is something I cannot figure out. Picture the robot making a bed yet.
I'm not sure if you walked into your nearest like huge retail like Costco or Sam's Club, but the thing that's sweeping the floor that used to be a human job is now a robot's job.
No, right.
Yeah. So if that can happen, it's only a matter of time.
I agree with you. I had the experience in Singapore in a trade show where I was being served by a robot. So there was a robot running around the trade show selling food, but I would actually stop and then ask you for feedback about how the food was.
Wow.
So that was insane. Serving what, 3,000 people or 4,000 people?
Wow.
Yeah,
So
you're starting to see like a lot of the hotels and F&B for the outlets. They start having the robots deliver the food, so this way they don't need a runner. But for some strange reason, that robot just kept breaking down. I'm not saying it was intentional, but yeah, because that was somebody's job, of course. And so,
well, yeah. I mean, we don't want to go into despair and thinking Skynet here and Terminator. So we'll stop at that. But it's always good to start getting prepared, right? So Santiago, I hope we answered your question. And I know that we are at the bottom of today's Congress. So first of all, I wanted to appreciate you all for being part of this and Beanie for having us and making this amazing session. So I think if we go around, I always like to do a minute or two just dispensing again, as I say, golden nuggets or like forward-thinking statements on what should hoteliers do, or even the wider industry should do, where to focus to make sure that they future-proof their businesses. So I think I can start the other way around this time. So Stavros, would you like me to start? Would you like you to kick us off on that?
Of course, I can say only, let's say, 5 words. Wear the guest's shoes. It's 3 words, sorry.
How would you say that in Greek?
Φόρα τα παπούτσια του πελάτη. So it's a lot, that's why.
Good. But it should be the same thing in any language, right? That's the important thing, right? So wear the guest shoes, get in their place, and make sure you enhance the guest experience, right? I think that's the message.
Yes, it's a message. It's a statement.
Thank you very much. It's the conviction. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Daniel.
That's I think we are in a process right now. It's important to don't go really quickly. So the important thing is try to cover all the customers. Okay, there are a lot of customers that has I don't know to say, for example, different culture or different age that it's not. They don't have a good relation with technology, and we need to do some accompany to them with all the technology that we have, and that's it. I think that the future is here, and the robots and artificial intelligence is coming to the tourist planet.
Yeah. It's not coming for us; it's coming to work with us, people. So don't get too depressed about it. So, but thank you, Daniel, for sharing that. Bruce.
I think the biggest mistake hotels make is that they think that the guest is trying to do business with them. The guest is not trying to do business with you. The guest is trying to date you. So after they see the picture, if they look at the description, they're going to swipe left. All right. That's all the internet is. It's a huge Tinder platform. They're just going to swipe left. So focus on your descriptions. You have no idea the things that you need to do to your listings. Focus on your listings first, and you'll see a 100% turnaround.
I love this, Bruce. Tinder for hotels. I mean, I think
Very good.
three startups have been born since that statement. So I love it. Thank you, Bruce, for that. Malu?
All right. I like to think that the trip starts not when you arrive at the hotel. It starts when you start planning where you're going to go. So for hotels, brand.com, please provide a unique and memorable online experience on your hotel's website, and that will help convert those users into direct sales. In a nugget, very short. I talk a lot, but I've made it short.
Appreciate that, Malu. And then last but not least, Nima.
Yeah, so I would say that the age of personalization in hospitality is coming. And I think that it shouldn't be, it should be something that we should look forward to, that AI essentially is going to help us make things more personalized for our guests, which leads to joyful, frictionless, long-term connections with guests. That's what you want. As a hotelier, you want to have these connections, and you want to make that guest experience as positive as possible. So I think we should embrace that, and it's coming one way or the other. It's just a matter of whether you're going to be open to it or not.
Well, and that is a great way to end our second Congress for Travel Tech USA Canada 2024. I appreciate the audience. I appreciate Vinny, who is our leader for this. I appreciate you all. I appreciate our sponsors, Insure Nomads, Hotelverse, GoGuest, BookOnLine Now, GuestChat, Hotel SaaS, and Concept Hub. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I encourage everyone to reach out to this amazing panelists we have today on LinkedIn, get their wisdom, leverage their companies, use trusted partners to make sure you're future-proofing your business. With that, again, as I said, I'm Alejandro from Holibub, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, your morning, or your afternoon, wherever you are in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome Travel Tech EU and Canada 2024 for edition,
where the transformation begins. By becoming a sponsor at Travel Tech, you'll gain access to an exclusive platform to showcase your brand to a global audience. Here's why you should sponsor our event. Travel Tech provided knowledge to more than 167 countries. Travel Tech is the largest online event in the travel and hospitality industry, reaching the milestone of over 1,500,000 unique impressions in its events. Delivering to the world knowledge, free education, inclusion, and effective networking for evolution in the industry. Being an excellent means of showcasing your brand. Over 80,000 people attended our live events, generating more than 19,000 hospitality and travel-focused leads.
In the bustling world of hotels, guests expect prompt, courteous service from booking to check-in, all the way to check-out. Meanwhile, the front desk is overwhelmed with emails, phone calls, check-ins, and guest requests. Introducing GuestChat, a virtual assistant that helps your staff answer guest questions instantly via chat, 24/7 with a multilingual, fine-tuned white glove service. From booking to check-in, all the way past checkout. Join the revolution in hospitality service. Elevate your guest experience with GuestChat today.
Welcome to the future of hotel marketing with HS Latam. Our self-managed, easy-to-edit websites are designed to captivate and convert visitors into customers. High-standard website with top 1 speed in the world with our digital marketing solutions. Elevate your online presence. Reach the right audience at the right time. Optimize your sales strategy to maximize revenue and efficiency. And with our advanced Power by Analytics, track your success and make data-driven. HS Latam. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. HS Latam. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide.